Language is more than just a means of communication. It shapes the way we think, feel, and interact with the world. Every language carries its own unique cultural nuances, expressions, and the ways of perceiving reality. It's almost like a filter to see the world through. For multilingual creators, the ability to switch between languages means they can tap into different audiences, cultures, and perspectives. It's like entering worlds of possibilities. Yes, you heard it right. With YouTube evolving to allow multiple audio tracks and the dubbing feature, some creators might not have to choose and worry about the languages they are creating the content for anymore. However, this is not a reality for everyone yet, including me as a small creator and other small creators that are just starting their journeys here. And if you're a bilingual creator or a multilingual creator and you're wondering which language you should start your channel on, well, this video is for you because I am this creator as well. And I had the same questions when I started my YouTube channel. In which language should I create my YouTube channels for? In English or in my native language? So it was always a question. By the way, this video was based on a comment you guys dropped here in one of my videos, which is this one here. Shout out to this guy because he gave me the idea to make a video about this, because I know there are a lot of creators that speak multiple languages out there and they always wonder which language should I create my YouTube channel on. And you need to understand that one thing is for sure. Yes, you have the multiple audio track and the dubbing feature on YouTube, but the dubbing feature is not released if you are not part of the YouTube partner program membership yet, meaning if you're not monetized, if you not have the numbers already. So if you're still a very small content creator, you're not there, which it's essential for you to understand in which language you want to primarily run your content on, whether it's your native language or another broader or global language. And if you're following here in this video and you don't know me yet, my name is Drigo, and I have challenged myself to post a video a day for 30 days and document all of the process of becoming a new content creator for a new YouTube channel without telling anyone, letting the algorithm do its tricks, and sharing and documenting all of this process with new creators as well. So let's cut straight to today's video. Basically, I want to draw 3 different profiles so we can dive into the pros and cons of each through my research and my experience as well. So basically, you have a YouTube channel that is in English completely, and it's a YouTube channel that you decided to make in that language. The second profile is a YouTube channel that you decided to do in your native language. And thirdly, you're going to have a YouTube channel that you decide to do a hybrid version or a multi-language YouTube channel, which is mostly what YouTube is going for in the future, I believe. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of each of them. Basically, starting with the English channel, you're going to have a largest audience reach because you're basically going to have a global audience, right? It's English, it's the internet language, it's the most widely spoken language in the world. So it's going to allow you to be part of a larger community. You're going to have more monetization options and opportunities because you're going to have access to ad revenues and CPM rates from countries like United States, Canada, United Kingdom, or any other rich country that speaks English, which is, compared to other countries, incredibly way higher. The cons are basically high competition because you're going to have a lot of other creators with really high standard material and content competing with you. And if you're just getting into the game, this can be a little bit intimidating. You're going to have a lot of content saturation because eventually it's an international channel. So a lot of people are going to be covering the same topic as you. But remember, no one's going to have the same unique view as you have of that topic. So don't forget that. And I would say cultural differences as well, because when you're here speaking in a different language for a different audience that is not your native language, it's sometimes a bit tricky because speaking from my own perspective and my own unique experience here, you can basically sometimes say something that doesn't quite fit well what you're trying to say if you're trying to speak in a different language, or you want to make a joke that only fits in your own country and eventually it's gonna not fit so well for someone else's country or in a different language or in a different tone. So those are things that I eventually have to be careful with, because if I try to express myself fully the way I do it in my native language, something might come completely out of context and be misperceived and misunderstood. So that's something we should be extra careful with when we are speaking in a different language. And also, a lot of the things that resonates with people that are from your country, they are not going to resonate with things that are from a broader audience from an international standpoint. But eventually, I feel like YouTube has an audience for each group and each individual. Now, let's imagine that you decided to create a YouTube channel in your native language. Let's talk about a little bit of the cons, which are basically less competition, because you're going to have less competition eventually, just going to be people from your native language, depending on the country you're speaking for. You can also collect ideas from abroad and translate it into your country and bring your own intakes and values. So I believe this is a good opportunity to be creative, to gather reference and broadcast different standpoints, but for your community, for your country. And because of that, you generate a stronger audience connection, because no one knows your people better than you do, right? So you're talking to them directly. You know what they like, you know their backgrounds. You relate and resonate with them better than anyone else in the world. And eventually it will grow in local markets. So you can grow really big in the companies within your country as well, meaning that you can grow locally and support local businesses by being sponsored by them in your YouTube channel as well. But that leads us to the cons, which are a small audience size. You're really limited, right? You're limited to your country, to your language, into all the countries that speak your language. So eventually you're just going to have that audience, which is something you already know. You're going to have a lower ad revenue, because depending on the country you're speaking from, you will have your CPMs rates based on the revenues from those countries as well. It can be significantly lower in some countries compared to US, UK, or Canada, like I mentioned before, unfortunately. Let's analyze a little bit the number 3. If you opt for having a multilingual content, having a multilingual YouTube channel, that's another thing. I think YouTube is going towards that, in which you're going to be able to select the language you want to hear that creator on. So imagine here, you come here and you click to listen to me to speak Chinese. This is already possible for a few channels, including Mr. Beast, of course, but not for small channels yet. So you still have to decide. But imagine that you decide to make videos in both your native language and English. There are a few pros that I don't consider quite of pros, but let's talk about them, which is a wider audience reach compared to just speaking to your native language, unique positioning, because you're going to be speaking with different communities and you're going to show a little bit of your personality, the spectrum of your person, and the flexibility of your vocabulary. You're going to be able to express yourself better for different audiences. But that comes with a price, which is to confuse the algorithm. It will affect directly your discoverability, because YouTube might struggle to categorize your content. Or it could be wrong with the systems of AI in place. It's not quite well, right? You can actually send the videos to the right people, even if it's in a different country. But sometimes I get videos on my For You page that I think are in English, and when I click on the video, it's in Portuguese, and they don't have the option to change the tracks or to change the language yet, because those are small channels. So they can change the title, they can change the description, but they can't change the content of the video itself yet. So when I see it's in English, and then when I see the video, it's in a different language, it's Chinese, or it's in Spanish or Portuguese. It's crazy. And because of that, you create a audience segmentations. If you're making videos in Spanish and in English, you can create an audience segmentation, meaning that a few of your audience will watch a few of your videos, other part of your audience will watch part of your videos, the other part of your videos. So like you have two audience just watching a few of your videos, and that's going to affect a lot of the analytics of your YouTube channel as well, as we already know that. I would say it's also a bit time consuming to be thinking about content for both of them, even though I do that. But that's when I come to the conclusion. But let's say the question is still in the air. What's the right language for my YouTube channel? Well, based on my experience, there are multiple profiles. Like I mentioned before, I gave you 3 examples, but you have to consider the location you're at. So if you are in a English-speaking country making videos for your native language, you might not benefit as well from the benefits of monetization, for example. But if you just want to bring value and deliver a product specifically to your community, in that sense, that's a good strategy. I would say go for that. I know a lot of creators that are based in the US and create content for their countries because they are documenting their lives here. And they found alternative ways to profit from this, but at the same time, express themselves and give back to their community. But if you're already in your own native country, I think that's not even a question that comes to your head because you're not a bilingual creator, right? You're probably like there and you live there. So the partnerships are going to be easier for you. The monetization process is going to be easier for you. So start doing it in your native language, unless you want to go for a global reach for a different specific reason. Then I would highly recommend that as well. You already know the advantages. In my case, I do have 2 YouTube channels, as I mentioned before. So one YouTube channel, I create videos in a different language for a different niche and for a different purpose. So in my personal YouTube channel, I create videos for people in my country. So I document my life here in the US by showing how life is like on this side of the earth. And I vlog videos. I make a lot of vlogs purely documenting my routine and everything I live through here. I think it would be interesting for them to learn about life here that is different there. So being from that country, I know that those will be fun facts, interesting and curious facts to share with them. So that therefore I decided to create that YouTube channel to basically document this life, share with them, inform them about life here, and at the same time inspire other people that long for living in the USA. So it's a very clear and specific goal there to give back to my community. But in this YouTube channel, I have completely different strategy. I started this YouTube channel from zero, not telling anyone, not sharing the video in any other platform, just limiting myself to create the videos here for this platform. And I challenged myself to post a video for 30 days, a video a day. This is the 29th video, and the experience here has been good. Every day I've noticed growth. I've been noticing people coming here, engaging with me, and I've been learning about a lot of the comments, and I have been able to make videos responding to the comments and learning of what I can share here on this whole journey. So one YouTube channel, I have a very clear goal, which is to give back to my community and document my life here. The other one, which is this one here, is more of like content creation in general, storytelling and creativity. And it's mostly for inspiring new creators to create and help them with understanding what's the process like on the go. And that's basically it. So if you like this video, please already let me know. If you're a multilingual creator, I would like to understand what's your biggest question. Have you ever thought on what language should I create my channel on? Because this was my biggest question when I first started my YouTube journey. It's a bit hard to have 2 YouTube channels. I am mainly focusing on this one right now. I'm gonna boost the other one. I'm almost getting monetization on the other one as well. So it's a process, and it's basically understanding your strategies and your goals behind it, but you can do both. If you speak multiple languages, you can select a language you want to speak for and go for that. And if you like this video, again, don't forget to let me know what you think about it. I'll see you in the next video, and if you like this video, you're gonna probably like one of these other videos here. I wonder what it's gonna be like when everyone is gonna be able to have content in multiple languages. Can you imagine people selecting here Chinese, or I don't know, let me think of a language. I don't know, that's gonna be crazy. Russian, imagining me speaking Russian. That's gonna be crazy, but I think that's what YouTube wants to go for moving forward. Are you prepared for that? I see you in the next video, guys.